So tomorrow we can do like revision. So I'll be explaining what I have explained. So just 1 hour I'll try to cover whatever most important aspect of our for job actually is done actually to how to open a defects. That's what we need, right? I mean not necessary, but that's one of the most important aspect which is to be which you'll be doing. Other than that, theoretically you can either read by yourself, or you can know by interacting with each other and all those stuff. Uh, but other than that, we have completed most one. So agile I'll be explaining today. So I'll complete like sorry, not this. Okay, so I forgot to explain this RTM, requirement traceability matrix. Yeah, let me know if I have missed anything. So this is like syllabus what actually I know what I have learned from it and what I am actually trying to explain. If you know more, if you want me to explain more, like I can do that. Just let me know what are the other components. We have to make sure like we have to cover in time. So I'll also make sure that we'll cover that one. So other than that, I think we are good. Okay. So tomorrow I'll take a revision. So just in case someone has missed my classes and don't want to take classes, or just only want to have one class, something like that, you can just take just do revision. Okay. So let's go to. So all these documents, right? So whatever documents is there, right? So what I am trying to explain is everything is there in the Google Drive. So everyone, I hope everyone has access to the Google Drive. If you don't have, request me. You can just email me, or call me. If I'm not available, you can email me. Okay. Mostly email will work. So whenever you email, I'll send the either I'll give the access if it is Gmail, or I'll just give the URL so you can access. Okay. So agile. So what's an agile? Let's, so I'll be giving homework on this today. Okay. So what's an agile? So agile is an iterative and incremental process. Okay. So it's a process. It's see, we have learned about SDLC, right? Software development cycle, and then we have learned about waterfall model. It's just like just one way, only one way. Waterfall is like one way. If you are stuck somewhere, start from scratch. But that's not what we want, right? If you are stuck somewhere, you have to fix that. We don't want again start from again requirements and get started things over for doing nothing. So that's a waterfall, and then we talked about various methodologies like spiral and advantages and disadvantages. So all those various methodologies. Agile is like agile is something which is new. Okay. So there is always development in agile. So there are so many developments going on in the agile. So they keep on coming with the new components and new various modules into the agile. Okay. So let's see. Let's start with roles. Okay, what are the roles and terminology? Let's start agile with terminologies. So okay, Scrum team. So agile is a team, right? Because the reason, right? If you have big projects, huge projects, you cannot do in one. One team is not enough. So you divide the work. So you always in agile you divide the work. You cannot do everything in one shot. So that's not. But in waterfall you do that. In waterfall, you do one shot, one big project, 6 months. I don't care. 1 year, that's fine. 1 year project. Keep on going. Nobody cares. How is it? But in agile, it's not. That doesn't work that way, right? In agile, you need to divide the work because you need to be, if it's 1 year, then you will say no, 6 months. We are see, 1 year project. We want to do it in 6 months. We don't want to waste money. No company don't want to waste money on irrelevant task. Okay, so we want quick. We don't care about quality, right? In agile, quality gets screwed up big time. Okay, but in waterfall, the quality is good. So we have learned, right? So, but company wants to, doesn't care about the quality. Now they want to care about the money. How much money they are spending? They don't want to spend much money. So they want to move the agile. So now agile, you have to divide the work. You cannot do just like that. You need to divide. So there are teams. Okay, Scrum team 1, Scrum team 2, Scrum team 3, Scrum team 4, so on and so forth. How many teams they want, they can put it. So that's how, that's the Scrum team. Scrum. What is Scrum? Scrum is like, it's also an iterative and incremental process. Okay, there's like teams. Normally the team is called Scrum. Okay, okay. So you have lead, right? Lead like okay, that's not a different. That's a lead concept is gone, but um, okay. So somebody asked, right? So where does ETL testers comes in this agile process? Um, Okay, I'll be going to explain that actually. So testers will be part of the team. Okay, testers will be the part of the team. So this is like methodology. Agile is a methodology. It's a process. It's a process. It's not like a software. Just to go and explain the tool and that's it, done. No, this is a management perspective. So more of a management perspective, like how many team members are there. They have to see how the work is going on. Like how many, so it's more of a management perspective. In the management perspective, like testers, developers, Java developers, web developers, HTML developers, whatever, all developers, architects, web architects, and all those people come into these teams. They might be in one team or another team or any part of the team. So they are like teams. Okay, so they will be a part of the team. So even the tester will be a part of the team. Okay, so Scrum team, Scrum team consists of what? Product owner, Scrum Master, and development team. Okay, who is the product owner? Product owner is business analyst, where we call in waterfall business analyst, right? BA, we call BA. So that is product owner. Terminology is different. Same guy. No, not is not something new. Nobody has invented something new position. Same person. Business analyst is called product owner in Agile. So if somebody said product owner, don't get confused. This is just a business analyst. Scrum Master. Scrum Master is project manager. Okay, whoever is the in waterfall methodology, project manager recall. There is nothing called Scrum Master in waterfall, right? Nobody knows what is Scrum Master. But in Agile, you no more call as project manager. That project manager gets the name Scrum Master. Again, we have again different these things gets more and more developed and more sophisticated. So I've seen like even Scrum Director, of course, it's nothing like that, but because he was that guy. So when I was working in Barclays, right, that guy was actually handling all Scrum Masters. Actually, he was the boss of all Scrum Masters. So that guy was like Scrum Director kind of. Okay. So yeah, there's nothing like that. I mean, there's officially there is no name like that. I just since all the Scrum Masters are reporting to him, so I thought he is like Scrum Director or something. Okay. Okay. So Scrum Master and development team. Okay. And then so let's go product owner. So this is we know product owner is responsible for maintaining product backlogs. Okay, we'll come to that. Okay, product backlogs and what a product. Scrum Master, of course, this who actually is responsible for the Scrum process. So, okay, who is exactly Scrum Master? See, as my personal experience, Scrum Master, I would say he or she is a bridge between the developers and testers. Okay, why? Because see, if you get any issues, So see, testers will come up with all issues, all kind of issues, like small issues or big issues or complex issues or something like that. Now you go to approach to the developer saying that, hey, I got this issue. He doesn't care. So it's working fine in my system. Why are you bothered? It's working. So, but it's an issue. It's an issue. If that goes into production, you will be get caught. And then next, your manager will, behind you with all other team members to say what's up with this defect, why it went to the production and why it was not tested. So it's an issue. Now, the developer don't want to fix it. No, he doesn't care. So nobody cares, right? Nobody cares about your work. You have to care about your work. That's very important, right? Nobody cares about anyone. So now you know it's an issue and you found out an issue, but developer doesn't care. But then in that case, you need to approach the Scrum Master, saying that, okay, now you have to give an explanation to Scrum Master, saying that, hey, this is the issue. If this goes into production, what kind of effects does it happen to the production? So we get customers get affected with that. All those kinds of issues. So is this like what we have to do? Is it ignorable? Is it not a business critical issue, or is it it's not issue at this point of time, or what is it all about? Okay, so then tell to the Scrum Master. Then he escalates the issue. Okay, yeah, it's an issue. Yeah, of course it's an issue, and I'll check with the developer what's up with that, and we'll get open a defect and we'll check with that. Okay, so that's how. So as my personal experience, Scrum Master is a bridge between the developers and testers. So it's supposed to be. See, when you go into project, right? Agile still people don't know what to do. So Scrum Master, see, whenever has to escalate the issues, so stays to say why you are giving issues to Scrum Master. Scrum Master don't know anything. Then what's the use of Scrum Master, right? So that's here the definition it says is a process making sure everything is correct and maximizing its benefits. Then you get a question from the boss. So why are you giving issues to the Scrum Master? You have to give issues to me. No, manager doesn't care about issues. He care only about firing and hiring people. That's it. Don't know about anything else. So then you have to say, like, Scrum Master is a person who will be making sure that that issue is fixed or not. If they don't agree with you, show this URL. Tell them this is it what it's written. They'll next time they'll not even ask you any question. Okay. So people don't know because in Agile, people are still developing and they don't know most of things. They don't get familiar with terminology. So that's how the people don't know. Okay. So that's Scrum Master. So we know development team. We have so many development team. Okay, we have web developer, Java developer, I don't know, and HTML developer, JavaScript developers, ETL developers, all those things. So all this. So you don't have to be everything in one team. We can request from other team. See, for example, we can have web developer. See, here is the thing. We can have a team of one web developer, okay, one Java developer, and okay, let's say two Java developer, one web developer, one JavaScript developer or something. Okay, and one tester. Okay, so now that okay, one Scrum Master. Okay, so that constitutes a team. But now you are doing ETL process and you are stuck with this only web developer. So what you can do is, like, you might not have immediate developer, ETL developer in that team. So in that case, you'll talk to some concerned person like Scrum Master and check with the other team who is working actually in that issue. Okay, so there might be ETL issue. That might be, so that guy might be in the different team. Then you communicate like that. You need to talk to Scrum Master saying that, okay, whereas in the other team is not actually in our team. So you need to communicate with them and fix the issues. Okay, so not everything will be readily available. That's what I mean. Not everything will be readily available. You need to find out. Okay, so that's your job. That's what your job is. You need to find out and make sure your work is completed. Okay, you need to make sure all the defects has been fixed. Okay, then we have sprint burn down chart. Okay, then burn down chart, how does it look like? So let's see an example. Okay, So this is, burn down chart. So this is prepared by the Scrum Master. This graph is plotted between the days and the remaining hours. Okay, these many days are left, and so ideally the green color is the exact no how the work should be done. This is the green color line. Can you see that? That is the ideal burn down. Okay, so that's how that's how that should be. But okay, of course, not always ideal things don't work, right? There are like issues. Somebody it took more time to fix an issue, or there was some issue with the development. Some guy left the project or something like that. So in that case, this thing goes ups and downs. So that's how those are ups and downs in this. Ideally, it should be like a green line, always green line, but that doesn't happen. It never happens. Okay, even if it happens only 1-2 times, that's it. It's by like chance. That's it. Okay, so this is like sample burn down chart, and then you have okay, then you have various others. Okay, release burn down, burn down. Okay, so these are the chart. So let's come up with okay. So there are other terms which are new. Okay, I've not heard of this. Maybe you can go through it and like understand this. Um, so there's like tracer bullet task. Yeah, task we know. Okay, so let's go to sprint. Okay, what is a sprint? Sprint is a time. It's a time. Okay, so in which it's a like normally okay. So let's say you have a project. Okay, look, you are working on some project and it's divided. Okay, it's again divided into some parts. Now that project is pretty big. You don't cannot they're divided into sprints like sprint 1, sprint 2, sprint 3. Let's say sprint 1 is 1 month project. So we don't say project anymore, sprint. No, 1 month sprints. Okay, every so we have 4 sprints because it's divided into 4 times. So 4 sprints. Then it will be completed into four months. Okay, 4 sprints. So that's what sprint. It's a time period. It's a time taken to complete that. Right. Yeah, you can say module. To and to be better technical point of view, you can say sprint. So you can understand it as a module, but you need to be professional, right? Just you have to say talk as a sprint. So it's a sprint. See, module is like a little bit different because that is more like software level. This is a little bit different than that. Okay, then you have product backlog. Let's talk about the product backlog. Okay, so we have so many here features, right? Like we are like okay, we have product backlog. So that means okay. See, this is like huge. Okay, one it's like an ocean itself. Okay, so there's like it directly comes from the CFO. Like oh, this is okay. This is this much product backlog, and so let's say you have like one product backlog consists of like I don't know. Let's take for for simplification, we'll take like I don't know 50 applications. So 50 applications. That means 5, 3, 4, 20. That means 200 applications you need to test. Okay. Now we have figured out what is what. Okay, this is management perspective. We know as a technical point of view. Now we understood like you need to test and develop. Okay, both develop and test 200 applications. So now we only done one, right? We took so much time to just to test one application. So now, but you need to test 200 applications. How do you do that? Now, what they do? Now they divide the work. They divide it. So that's a product backlog. So you have one product backlog. So let's say in one product backlog, um, okay, 20 applications. let's say in one product backlog, so 20 applications, that's, let's take in this a simplification process, 20 applications need to be developed and tested. Now that product backlogs 20 application is still a great number. No, you cannot go and just test 20 applications just like that, right? That takes time. That takes time, that takes resources, that takes so much development. It might be Java development, there may be ETL development, there's too much, everything. Okay, so now again the divide into sprint backlog. So let's say that now it's how much I said, 20. Okay, 20 applications. Okay, now you need some time, that is divided into 4 months. Okay, now 20 applications, now this thing is good now. Okay, now we figured it out. Now you have 200 application altogether, but we don't care about all 200. Let's worry about 20 application. Okay, now 20 applications should be completed in 4 months, just like sprint backlogs. Let's say here they showed 4 bucks, right? So 1 2 3 4. Now 4 months you have time to complete all the 20 application. Now each, okay, now whoever we can design, like by 4 months, you can have like okay, you will not doing only the one thing, only this thing. You might be doing so many things. We just talk about one project. There might be plenty of projects going on. Okay, just for a simplification process, I'm trying to understand. Okay, and then four, like you have four, that is 4 months. Let's take 4 months. Now you have 4 months to take 20, and then you each print. So this is about each print that takes 30 days, and then you deliver the product. So this is how, like this is how uh, the agile works. Okay, and then let's go to technical terms. Okay. Okay. So here's the thing: the product backlog comprises requirements. So requirements, right? So that's the requirement. Product backlog is requirement. Okay. So we know requirement, right? What is the requirement? So it's a requirement that it should be completed. So that's the product backlog. Okay, so you can take it as this one. In waterfall you call it a requirement, and um, in agile you call it as product backlog. Okay, you can take it that. Okay, um, and what does it consist of? Like we know, right? Features, bug fixes, non-functional requirements, or defects. Whatever you are. See, sometimes, right, that defects will get that defects that don't fix it, that becomes requirement. So that means now you have to that's a big project, that becomes a big user story, and you need to work on that one. Okay, so that is product backlog. Then you have sprint backlog. Okay, so we have seen, like how much it's taken time to next sprint. Okay, so that is sprint backlog. Let's see. Okay, so now you have planning, sprint planning. Okay, there's also grooming section, sprint grooming. Okay, that's not no officially anything is in this, but sprint planning. So what do we do in the sprint planning? In the sprint planning, so name itself, right? You plan. What do you plan? How many user stories we need to put into one sprint? So we know what is a sprint. Sprint is like 30 days of time. We have 30 days. That of course includes weekends. We don't worry about that. Okay. So sprint planning is like you need to decide how many user stories we are going to implement in this sprint. So that's what that's what it means. Okay, and who are invited. So most of the team is invited except managers, unless manager is technical guy. Okay, so everyone, scrum master hosts that. Okay, if he is scrum director, then of course that guy will host that. Okay, scrum master, and then developers, testers, those guys are very important, they have to be there. This is a must. Okay, you cannot miss sprint planning. If you miss, then that's it, you don't know anything, whole project, what is going on, you don't know. Okay, and then whoever is technical. Okay, product owner, of course product owner should be there. If any issues, well, that guy has to say. So it consists, like that meeting lasts for like 3 to 4 hours. Why? Because so let's say you have 10 user stories. Okay, if you're working with two separate teams, okay, 2 hours is good, 1 2 hours. But if you're working with the 2 3 teams and you need to figure it out what you are trying to do and 2 3 teams all is in chaos, then there's like 3 to 4 hours trying to figure it out what we have to do. Okay, so that's what the planning, sprint planning. There's like one more thing like sprint grooming where you actually there's the same thing, similar thing than planning. What you do is like accumulate, try to figure it out what are the in the backlogs, how many user stories we need to put into each backlog. So this backlog is again that's a high level term, right? Then you have actually again user story that is more specific. You're going a little bit more specific to it. Backlog is like not too much backlog. So what backlog? Everything is backlog. Okay. Whole requirements, what requirements? The whole company has its own requirements. So what are you talking about? Huh? So that is like more about high level. User stories, you come to specific to that. Okay, which user stories related to which which backlog. Right? So that kind. So when you have the user stories, okay, so it's being specific. Even user story is a requirement. Product backlog is also requirement. Backlog is a high level term. Okay, you don't use every time. Just to explain someone you can do that, but you would be more specific to the user story, which user story and what user story. That is more specific. That's also a requirement. Okay, that's also called as the requirement, but it's being specific than being more high level. Okay, so you do sprint planning and sprint grooming. Okay, now you have daily scrum. So daily scrum, it's called stand-up meeting. So how does it? This is how it looks like. So you have like everyone in the team, like the testers, Scrum Master. I don't know who is the Scrum Master here in the whole team. Um, but Scrum Master, developers, testers. All the developers and the testers will be in the team. It's like this is how it will be like. Okay, so there will be like people. So what do you do in the Scrum? What do you do in the daily Scrum? Okay, so it's a daily 15 minutes. So normally it is like 15 minutes. So what we talk about? We talk about what you have done today. What you have no what you have like what have you done yesterday? What are you doing today? And what are you going to do tomorrow? So these three things important. Okay, this is what it is, right? Okay, the same thing. Okay. So what have you done yesterday? What are you doing today? And what are you actually going to do tomorrow? So these three things. And also we will discuss any impediments. So this is the technical term again. Impediments. Impediments is, you can say it as a defect, not exactly a defect, but you can since they want to eliminate those defects kind of thing. So they are saying impediment. That means what is stopping you to do your job. That means there might be issues from the other team that that is blocking you, or there can be issues from your team itself. If the development is not done, or coordination is not done, or something like that. So that's called impediment. You can take it as a defect, okay, but not exactly a defect. Okay, similar to defect, because see defect is like documented work, right? So did you open a defect? Yeah. What is defect number? But impediment you don't have any document. Okay, what is the impediment? You have impediment number? No, nobody says that, right? So that's how. So it's like not in a documented perspective. Impediment is more of a what is stopping you to do the work. Okay, so these four things will be discussed in the Scrum meeting. I'm sorry, yeah, stand-up meeting. What have you done yesterday? What are you doing today? And what are you going to do tomorrow? And what are the impediments that is stopping you to do your job? Okay, so that is daily. That's what you discuss in the Scrum meeting. Okay, always, and this will be daily, 15 minutes time box. See, it should be in 15 minutes. You should not go more than beyond that. Then you are doing something wrong. If it goes more than like okay, you can go 30 minutes. And but I have personally never seen a Scrum lasting for 1 hour. So that's not even good. You're wasting time. So you cannot waste every day 1 hour just to for Scrum meeting. Just 15 minutes good, short. Okay, always be specific to the what's the issue, and cut off that issue and we can coordinate that later whenever you are working there. Okay, so that is Scrum. And then you have sprint retrospective. Okay, so in this sprint retrospective, right, what do we do? So this is like end of the sprint. So once you are reaching to the end of the sprint, um, you discuss about what have what good was there in this sprint, what didn't go well in the sprint, and what we can improve about that. So these three important things: what good it was, what not good, and how can we improve on this, how to make it good. Okay, so for everything there will be something, right? There will be something. Okay, no, the requirements didn't come up in timely manner, or developers had hard time to fix that issue because that issue was something related to the other team, and other team guy was not there and nobody was responding to that some issue. Oh, we don't know. Okay, some issues comes up, so we need to talk about in the sprint retrospective. Okay, so that is sprint retrospective. So in every sprint we'll be having what went good, what didn't go good, and what needs to be improved. Okay, the three important things. And then you have so that's all about. Okay, so if you are, let's see, okay, how is that? So you have user stories. Good. So let's say you have the user story. So this is the user story. So what are the user stories? Requirements. Okay, product backlog is also requirement, but that's a more high level term. So we don't go much on high level. So this is like traditional method of doing the agile. So this is very traditional. It's like Stone Age. So personally, I don't know. I mean, I don't like this too much because it's like working in the Stone Age. But in rally, when you see the rally, right, that has all the. Oops, looks like something wrong. So maybe rally is gone. Okay, let's not worry about that one. Okay, so in the rally, when you go into that, okay, you will be having all of the documented there. So it will be everything will be on online. So all this, so it will not be like this similar way, but okay, this is more of a traditional method of doing it. Okay, so what you have, this is a user story. So let's say you have user stories, 10 user stories. Okay, then you have the developers working on it. So you cannot start, you cannot start testing until the development is completed, right? You can only start testing once the development is completed. So here there are sticky notes. They will be using sticky notes. So there are various colors, right? Blue, yellow, and all the stuff. So let's say once the development is completed, so they will have time, right? So let's say one user story. So these all are decided into the sprint planning session. How much time will one user story take? Let's say developer says 5. No, why will it take 5? Then the developer has some reason explaining that no, it will take 5 because we need to coordinate with the other teams. This is different issue altogether. So so that includes testing and development. So see, the developer will have upper hand on this because they know what's going on, right? So they know they are the developers, they are developing this. As a tester, will not be much much knowledgeable about the applications or knowledgeable about what's going on. Okay, moving forward, once get more into that, you will be knowing even as good as developer. But to start with, developers will be having more knowledge on that because they will be developing the applications. What are they know what are the issues. Okay, so they will be saying like 5. Okay, so somebody has to support that, right? Wi-Fi. So now this technical, the technical guy will say, no, this is requires 5 because there's like so many issues, and there's like, okay, so 3 days for development, 2 days for testing. So once they have done, right, so 3 days they'll put like three, put it three into that, and then strike, and then once the 1 day is finished, that remove the three and put in a two, and so on. Okay, and then once the development is done, then you start testing. Okay, 2 days testing. So that's what the columns are, right? Here they are user stories to do. So this like time, how much time it's taking in progress. So in progress, okay, in progress is like how much the developer and how much testers are doing. Okay, and the how much. Okay, so that is like what is the project, how we are proceeding, and testing, like how much testing, and then sprint end. So that is something really different. And once the sprint ends, um, so the Scrum Master supposed to prepare sprint burn down chart, right? Burn down chart. So this is how it looks. So we have completed. So this they will post on the traditional way. So I'm saying about traditional way. Now I don't think everyone is doing so. Everyone has become online, so everyone does in the online. Okay. So but it will be post on the wall saying that okay, this is, and everyone looks at it. Okay, this is how it's going. So that's what. Okay, and then so since agile is pretty much new in sense, like of course it's been like more than 8 years or something, but they still need to improve a lot, because in agile you need to be quick, everything, because they are builds. So I hope everyone knows what is builds, right? See, whenever the development does some work, right? Okay, it does in the development environment, and he submits that, okay, that code, okay, whatever the code he has worked in, he submits that code, and puts into the, I mean that they have some kind of middleware team. Let's take in a middleware team. They are like middleware team, and he puts checks in. He checks in, actually the proper word is checks in. He checks in the code, okay, and then once he checks in the code, it goes to the middleware team, and those builds, they process the builds in sense that code from the development goes in the testing environment. Okay, so that's how first it goes to developer to they make sure that it's working in the developer environment. Okay, then that's moved to the test environment, then that's moved into the production environment. So there are, to move that code into test environment, there are builds. That means, okay, that means let's say they will do that job. So it's kind of work, right? So somebody else, some other team will be working on that. So let's say they do 4 builds in a day. That means 9 a.m. and no 12 p.m., 3 p.m., 4 p.m. Okay, let's say 9 a.m. 9 a.m. there is one build, 12 p.m. there is one more build, 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. Okay, so now whenever you find an issue, you need to fix right away. It's like this, right? Whenever you agile, right? You found an issue and it should be fixed right away. So now you talk to the developer, hey, this is an issue. Now what does the developer do is like, okay. So today is the build. I'm checking in my code today itself. So you will able to test it after 4 p.m. Since you have opened a defect 12 o'clock. 2 o'clock is a build, but I know I have to work on that, so I cannot go ahead and work on that. It will take some time. So that guy will check in that code after 2 p.m. So that goes into the 4 p.m. build. Now when the 4 p.m. build is ready, now you do start your testing. So that's how, like in one day you are actually trying to fix that issue. One day, that's it. You're not no more waiting for days together to just fix an issue. So in this, some of these cases, right, they don't even want to open a defects. They say no, just talk to talk to developer and fix this issue. We don't want any more defects. Some companies, they are also doing that. They are not opening defects. Okay. and then so that's a, like basically builds. If you know builds, so that's in Agile they are using. They are pretty fast. Okay, in Agile they are like, they want to fix that as soon as possible. Okay, so any questions in that? I'll just check with one document, so we'll just refer that. Any questions? Any terminology you want to know? See these terminologies, right? This is something. Okay, you can go ahead and read. Okay, so this might be there in some project, might not be there. Okay, okay. Task. Task is, so we have seen this task, right? In Rally, we have created task, right? So that is that kind of thing you can say task. This is also like a user story. You can, it's not exactly user story, but you can take it as whenever what task are you working on. So you can say, okay, I'm working on 3 user stories. Okay, so that's how. But to be specific task, you can in Rally, since I showed you, right, how do you create the task. So you can create the task on that. Okay, so any questions in this? Okay, so let's go through this document. So there are many methods for Agile. Okay, Scrum, extreme programming, adaptive software development. Okay, there are so many things. So okay, dynamic system. So I've more worked on the Scrum. So that's a Scrum team, right? So that is more famous than all this extreme programming. Okay, there might be some, will be working at, will be similar on this, but the concept will be similar unless the concept for that will be similar. Like you'll be working on the Scrum and you'll be doing extreme programming. And, so what is in Scrum? Okay, so here is they have given definition. Scrum is an agile, lightweight process. It's also an iterative and incremental process. So it's also an iterative and incremental process. So this is basically whatever today in agile, right? In agile, this is all management perspective. The only thing is like you need to understand. Yeah, you may not understand what I'm saying everything because this is not a software. Software is easy. Just if it's a software, just will show you. That's a technical view. Just show you that software. Okay, this is how it looks like. Oh, okay, got it. So that's easy. But this agile is a process. So this is not like something to show. This is something to work on it. You need to work on that because this is a more from a management perspective, not as a technical point of view. Technical point of view is good, it's easy. Okay, software, okay, we'll use it. But this agile, complete agile process, right? It's a management perspective. Yeah. So iterative is like so iterative is like it's more iterations, right? One after the other, you'll be doing one after the other, one after the other, just so on. Okay, and incremental is like keep on increasing. Okay, so that's like combination of the both terms like iterative and incremental. Okay, let's check it out. Even I'm not familiar with the exact definition of that, but let's see. Yeah, it's a process, right? So iterative is like say iterations. Like you have one iteration, two iterations. So like let's say when you are running something, let's say you're running some scripts. Okay, so that's like goes one after this. Automatically. Automatically it moves to the another script. Again, it automatically moves. So that's iteration. Incremental means it's increasing, always an increasing process. So that is iterative and incremental. It's like a loop. Iterative is like a loop. You're doing, but that loop is incremental. Okay, and so this is like advantages. So, but personally, I don't like agile because everything. See, why the reason, right? Because managers wants to the boss always want to do the job right now. It's not even right now, right now, right now. So you need to fix that issue as soon as possible. They don't want any issues. See, as a boss, no, see, they want you to work, but they don't want the issues. But your job is to take out issues. How is it possible, right? It's not possible. So, but once the issues are open, they want you to fix right away. So that's not possible, right? It takes time. So in ETL, it's much more harder to do that. Why? Because there's like so many people are involved in the ETL. Okay, so ETL, you cannot just because there's the data loading and if the data mismatch, then you have to work with the data team, and if it is if some other issue, then architecture has to fix that. Okay, some architecture defect, you don't know. Then architecture says, okay, how does it possible? Then there's a document effect. Okay, there's document again. Scrum Master has to work on that again. I'm sorry, product owner has to work on that, or if he's not interested, then architecture has to do. So all these so many things are going on, right? So it becomes actually hard. Okay, so the to fix that issues quick, it will take time. Okay, so that's the reason in agile this ETL process is a little bit slow, but still works. Okay, you can still you can make it forcefully to work on the agile. Then you have so this is how what explained, right? What are the functionalities of the Scrum. So this is I've explained. What is a Scrum Master? See, this is your main job is to remove impediments. So make sure whenever you go to the see your boss always wants to argue with you, right? So you say no. So whatever you want to do, see always be prepared for questions and answer them professionally. Always answer the questions professionally. They want to make sure, so they don't want to they don't know some of the things. See, only person who will be knowing more knowledgeable is you, not anyone, not your boss. Boss don't know anything. Boss only knows to are you doing work, not. That's what he's worried about. Even if you are doing work, they want to see, okay, you are not doing this way, that way. So they want to question you. Okay, so okay, so why are you like say I got a question. So when I was working, right, I got a question. Why are you like submitting defects to Scrum Master? I'm like, so who am I supposed to submit to? Developers? They don't even bother about it. Okay, so then I know my boss called to a meeting. Okay, why are you submitting? So then I told them, that okay, as my experience, Scrum Master job is to remove, there's a bridge between the developers and testers, because not all defects, are understandable by the developers. Okay, because Scrum Master is there much more experience and he is supposed to do the development work, and then is to be, that's the position when it comes. Okay, so he knows more both testing and development. So that's the reason we give to that to Scrum Master, because this is I'm getting this issue, but developer is not agreeing with that. So I want to escalate that issue to the Scrum Master, saying that hey, this is the issue, and this one is to be fixed. So that's what it is there, right? Main job is to remove the impediments. That you have to remember that. Okay, so make sure you know that. And even if they want to argue, no. See, my boss also argued on that. No, no. Scrum Master is not um, is not responsible for taking impediments. Then you can go ahead and show them So here's the thing. So they'll never ask you question again. Okay. Okay, so Scrum team. Okay, so this is what we told, right? Scrum teams normally is like 5 to 10 people, cross-functional. So as I told you, right? So everyone, that is QA, programmers, UI, designers, etc., architectures, and so on and so forth. Whoever they want to be. Okay, this is not supposed to be, members could be a full-time, not necessary. Team is self-organization, not really, because in Agile, see, Agile everyone has to follow some procedures, right? But that doesn't happen in Agile since it is new. Everyone is learning, right? So it's not actually because of the sprint retrospective, right? You can say the team is self-organizing, but everything should be in proper way. Then only you can say that. Okay, membership can change only within the skills. Then product owner. So we talk about the product owner. He is the business analyst. Okay, and the process. Okay, we talk about this, right? Sprint planning, sprint, daily scrum, sprint review meeting, and then we have, see, I told you, right? See, sprint planning meeting takes about 8 hours. I mean, don't have to be 8 hours. That's like painful. You don't have to be that long. Okay, it's okay. You can just take it as like 3 hours or something, or 2 hours. I mean, 1 hour is more than enough. But see, the issues are, they want, if the issues are convoluted and lot of complex issues, then of course it takes time, because then they want other teams to be come into our team and try to understand that one, and they want to implement their own style, and we want to improve. So that's what it takes more time, right? So whole day gets just for meeting. Okay, so these are like parts in the planning, and then you have. See here it's they have given specifically no outside influence can interfere with the scrum team during sprint. No one is supposed to come into the team, but there is another version of that. Okay, they can work also. So it's up to them, because it's up to them to decide like who they do, they want anyone to work on the team, or they just want this team to be self-organizing and self-sustained, so that we can work each other to get the work things done. Not we don't need any help from the other team. So that this is more being more civilized. You have to work with your own team and get things work. You don't want to waste more time to just call the other team and just work on that. Okay, so that's how. So what is daily scrum? This is what we. So every team member should answer on the 3 questions. That's what I said, right? What did you do since yesterday? What's stopping you to get the work done? And then you have review meeting. So this is sprint retrospective. This is what product backlog we explained, right? This is like high level requirements. We can take it as high level requirements, and then we have estimation. Product backlog is just a forecast, not exact. That's a very good question. Yeah, where is that chicken and pigs, right? That's you got it really good, that one. Where did I miss that? Right, this one. So chicken and pig. So there actually this is a like saying, what does a chicken do and pigs, um, pigs sit idle. There's like saying, but chicken, when you cut the chicken and you take it as a meat, right? But pigs don't do anything. Pigs just sit idle. So that's what chicken means. Does the whole work. See, whole work who does in the team, and the pigs don't do any work. Sit idle. Um, yeah, so it's kind of, yeah, that way. But Scrum Master, yeah, is like a pig, and remaining all people are like a chicken who does the whole work. Chicken does the whole work, and pig just. But I mean, that's not like specific to be. Yeah, it's not like being specific, like the chickens is like whole team, and pigs is like Scrum Master. No, Scrum Master is also busy. Okay, sometimes Scrum Master does the work of the development job because he is a developer, right? Scrum Master is developer, so he doesn't sit all idle because he has his own work. He prepares the burn down charts, burn down charts, and he work around with the issues if there are issues. So if there are many testers, then he coordinates with the other team. Okay, so okay, he also has some work to do, but not always. So that's what it means, chicken and pig. Chicken means all the rest of our team, and pig means uh, the person who doesn't do what. So okay. And then you have sprint backlog. There are some strict rules here. No, should not be more than 300 tasks. I have never come across more than 20. So if you have 20, then it becomes more too much of work. So it gets 1 month you cannot. 20 tasks is good. You cannot go beyond that. Okay, because it becomes harder, and it's time consuming, and everything becomes in chaos, right? You need to be in order. Everything should run in orderly, right? So then you have burn down charts, so axis, usually in days by axis remaining effort, and then you have, so it's not a straight line. If you have another burn down chart, release burn down chart, there's also which have y-axis you will be having, so two charts. Okay, you see, so the more number of charts, then it is more number of work. Okay, so much you need to work more. Okay, Scrum Master, not Scrum Master, or anyone who will be working on that. So, but one chart is good. Burn down chart. But there is one more release burn down chart. If you want to put, then you have y-axis positive and negative, and then x-axis. If I didn't give x-axis. Okay, x-axis will be number of days. Of course, that will be number of days. So that will be release burn down chart. So your typical Scrum team is about 6 to 10 people. Yeah, there should not be no more than 10 people. It becomes, then you need to get into another team. No, you cannot work more than 10 people in the Agile. Okay, and then you have, so this is part of that. So advantages and disadvantages. So if you see normally Agile. So for me, like Agile. When you have small projects, Agile is good. When you have big projects, waterfall methodology is good. But now things are changing. Even if it is big projects, now you also using Agile and distributing the work. You're breaking up the work and dividing the task, and then you are distributing the teams. Okay. So now even big project you are still doing into the Agile. Okay. Okay. So it's already one. Okay. Any questions? So everyone has this document, right? So go ahead and you can read the document. Also, I'll be giving homework on this Agile. Okay. So it depends. So it depends on the project, how you want to work on the project. So see, it's like whole company level, right? Companies, it's like company decides how many teams we need. If they are work, see, everything might be in Agile. If some will be in waterfall. So if it's in Agile, so now we have like 10 Scrum teams. Okay, let's work on 10 Scrum teams and in Agile, and then remaining waterfall. Then if they perform well, that 10 Scrum teams perform well, then okay, we can move that in another 10 teams. So it's it's a process. It's the company who has to decide that. Okay. Okay. So any more questions? Any more questions? Okay. So if everyone are good, can we close class for today? Okay. Yeah. Thanks everyone.